The 6th generation of Pokémon was released 22 years ago with Pokémon X and Y, and the first to be released on the Nintendo 3DS. With this, 72 brand new Pokémon were introduced to the Pokémon world. It was the least amount of Pokémon by any Pokémon generation to date, but do you want to know the most expensive TCG card for each of these brand new 72 Pokémon?
1 beep for yes, 2 beeps for no.
Double yes.
Let's find them and add them to the world's most expensive national decks. With 5 generations in our national dex binder so far, we have amassed 649 total Pokémon. And with all their values combined, we have a grand total so far of £78,217.12, according to the Collector app. Rules are the same as ever, so pause here if you want to give them a read. And if you've missed any of the previous 5 generation videos, where have you been?
Where have you been?
We have seen huge Pokemon card values, lovely vintage cards, moderns, full arts, reverse holos, stamped, megas, and even tops, which some of you hated.
I hate it.
But to help you catch up, there's a link in the top right hand corner to a playlist of all the videos. So grab some popcorn, hit that subscribe button, and settle in for a huge Pokemon card binge. Generation 6 kicks off with Pokemon number 650 with the little hedgehog chestnut Pokemon Chespin. Probably my favourite of the Gen 6 starters, which I know is a bit of a hot take, but I like the little guy. Although it is a small Pokemon, we start off with a huge card, and the most valuable Chespin card is this from 2015. Doesn't look familiar? Well, here's the story. This is one of the winners of the Pokemon Art Academy North American competition from 2015. This Chespin is one of a collection of 6 cards created by fans in the Pokemon Art Academy 3DS game. The competition consisted of players getting to either draw their favourite Pokemon, in this case the illustrator known as Gabby made Chespin, or they could have made a dress-up Pikachu. What was the prize for this competition? Well, each illustrator was given 100 physical copies of their card. I can't think of much better prizes, except, I guess, the lottery. But the Pokemon card company saying, hey, that illustration you drew? Good stuff. Here's an official TCG card with your art on it. There are thought to be more in existence, with workers apparently smuggling them out of the printing factories, but with their incredible rarity comes incredible value. Collector marks this competition winner up at £2,217.05, our 4th most expensive card in the entire binder so far. To put it into a bit of context, this one Chespin card is worth roughly half the value of the entirety of Gen 5. So let's move on to its evolution and see if we can keep this mega value going. Quilladin brings us this huge, this mighty, this iconic XY base set value card for £2.59. It was a good run while it lasted. Chestnut as well brings us this XY staff promo card for £27.66, a bit more respectable. Fennekin is one of our 4 McDonald's 2014 promo cards we're going to see in this generation. Braxton ups the ante a little bit with this secret rare Cosmic Eclipse card, featuring everyone's favourite non-dragon type dragon Pokemon Charizard. The Gen 1 Titan actually appears on all of Braxton's top 5 most expensive cards, and I hate to break it to you, Braxton, there's not a lot of people buying the card for you. It's for Charizard. I'm sorry to break it to you like this, I really am. Delphox has an XY promo card for just £4, making it the cheapest fully evolved starter Pokemon in the entire binder so far. Ouch. Are there any Delphox fans out there? If you are one of the few, let me know in the comments below and give some love to this seemingly forgotten Pokemon. Froakie gives us another McDonald's promo from 2014 for £5.76, followed by a shiny Frogadier from Hidden Fates for £2.23. Next up is Greninja, who has possibly the worst Mega Evolution for the new Legends EA game.
Sorry, what? Ew! Ew! Kill it! Kill it! Kill it with fire!
Okay, second worst. Its card, however, is much less of a joke, with this Twilight Masquerade special illustration rare card for £278.51. It feels like this card was hyped up right up until the release of Surging Sparks, and the Pikachu took over. The Greninja completely overshadowed Shrouding Fable and Stellar Crown for the most parts, while everyone was trying to fight it out to get their hands on this one card. I never really got it. Like, it's a nice card, sure, but it's not £270 nice. Although I don't think many cards are worth that sort of money. But maybe that's the side of me remembering what it was like to collect Pokemon cards before the pandemic and influencers, causing all the current carnage we see today. Bundle B adds this thank you promo card to a National Dex binder for £18.78. These were handed out at a Pokemon Play events with the release of Vivid Voltage apparently due to the pandemic? Like a thank you for ordering cards from your local game store? I'm not 100% sure on that, but there's not a whole lot of information out there, so if you know anything, let me know. Diggersby has an XY Reverse Holo base set card, followed by Fletchling for our third 2014 McDonald's promo card for £4.35. Fletchinder from Paldea Evolved is up next. Nice and toasty by the campfire. A perfect card for this autumn weather we're having right now. And the final evolution of the regional bird, Talonflame, has this Vivid Voltage card for a mere £2.42. The Scatterbug line all comes from the XY base set with 3 reverse holos in a row. Litleo gives us the first Mega Evolution card to join our national decks with this shiny rare illustration card for £3.31. Before evolving into Pyro, this Paldea Evolve card going for £5.98. Flabibi joins the binder from the Generation set released in 2016 to celebrate 20 years of Pokemon. And it's joined by Floette, also from Generations. Before we add Florges from Phantom Forces for £13.39. Skiddo and Go-Go both have their cards as XY promos, and Skiddo at least looks happy to be joining the binder. Go-Go, however, might be looking to try and escape. Pancham has this Furious Fist card for just 64 pence, followed by a Cracked Ice Holo Pangoro, an exclusive holo pattern for the Dark Hammer theme deck. The Poodle Pokemon Furfrou can be added to the decks from Prismatic Evolution for £4.72, with this Master Ball variant. And if you've seen my previous videos, you know my distaste for these holo patterns. In summary, they suck. Why? I'm a Master Set collector. It's a me problem, I know, but hey, they can do one. Esper and Meowstic both come to the binder from the Generation set for £8.30 and £3.30 respectively. Then we get the 3-sword Pokemon, Honedge, Duoblade, and Aegislash. And you would think that these guys have cards that have been slashed in price, right? Right? Okay, well, no, the cards aren't actually that cheap. That's because all 3 come from League and Championship competitions. See that little badge there? That means that these cards had to be earned by actually playing the TCG game. Remember, the thing that these cards are actually created for. Not to grade a card by covering it in plastic, then getting a guard for that plastic, then getting a big sleeve for that guarded plastic, then putting that card that is now triple protected into a glass or plastic cabinet with not too much direct sunlight, as you don't want that to seep through the 4 layers of protection and damage the card in any way, because one day these cards will be worth more than gold itself. A real fun side to the hobby grading. Spritzy has another Prismatic Evolution Master Ball Reverse Holo, and Aromatis comes from a World Championship deck, and I for the life of me could not find a picture of this card without the not tournament legal stamp over it. So at this point I kind of think that the not tournament legal sign is actually past the card itself, but someone please show me a picture without this banner, I beg you. Swirlix has possibly one of the cutest cards in Pokemon card history, with this entry from the Radiant Collection. Surrounded by a whole load of sweet treats that could give you instant diabetes, but goddamn it'd be worth it. Cute Pokemon card collectors, I challenge you to show me a cuter card. Slurpuff is also from the Radiant Collection before our final McDonald's 2014 promo, which is Inkay, with a value of £3.42. Now we've got to get its evolved form into the decks, so I'll help everyone out here. Don't worry guys, you don't have to turn your TVs upside down, and I guess that wouldn't work on a phone either. Okay, right, yep, there we go, upside down. Now let's feed it rare candies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, right, cool. Level 30. And there we go, Pokemon number 687, Malamar, with one of the weirdest evolution systems ever. It adds this Sun and Moon Staff promo card for £21.37. Oh, right, yeah, sorry, there you go guys. Binnacle and Barbacle come to the National Dex for less than £1 for the pair. Another Pokemon with super low value is Skrelp. Before we get to Dragalge, the Sea Dragon inspired Mon gives us another staff promo card from the XY era, with a price tag, according to Collector, of £50.61. Clauncher comes to our binder from the largely ignored Scarlet and Violet base set. I personally am actually working on master setting the Scarlet and Violet base set, partly because of cards like this Clauncher, but there's also Miraidon, Koraidon, and a few others that are really nice cards. Besides, the biggest chase in this entire set is like £40 for Gardevoir. So, coupling some good pricing, relatively nice cards, and the fact that everyone else is kind of ignoring it at the moment works for me, so I'm going to complete it as quickly as I can. Clawitzer gives us yet another XY promo card to add to our national decks for £15.2. Helioptile gives us our second Mega Evolution card with this illustration rare, and this guy is really not looking too impressed with this firework display. Kind of reminds me of someone. Heliodisc comes to the binder from Twilight Masquerade, with the art inspired by the basilisk lizard that can run on water. Also turns out its name is the Jesus Christ lizard, so I'm thinking, would it be too much to ask if the lizard would just turn the water into wine and we will have a good party? 2 more XY promo cards for our T-Rex Pokemon of Tyrant and Tyrantrum. I'm surprised Tyrantrum hasn't yet had a big illustration rare card yet. I feel like it's quite a fan favourite on the fact of it being a giant dinosaur, but maybe for a future set, because right now this promo card is only worth £14.6. For our next 2 fossil Pokemon, we have a very modest Forbidden Light Amora card. Only one of 3 Amora cards printed in English, so not much competition for this lot in the binder. And another XY promo card for Aurorus, this one with a value of £12.49. Next up, we have one of the most popular evolutions in the history of the series, the poster child of the fairy type, Sylveon. Now, before I talk about the card, I got a lot of angry comments when I mistakenly called Sylveon a Gen 4 Pokemon. Also a sneak peek at our first Generation 4 Pokemon.
Are you sure about that?
Which is completely valid criticism. I honestly don't know what I was thinking, so feel free to remind me how stupid I was for saying that, but in return, you gotta hit that subscribe button. Being one of the most popular Pokemon in the entire franchise, it's no surprise that there are several cards in contention to join the world's most expensive national decks for Sylveon. So, are we ready?
Contenders, ready!
This VMAX Evolving Skies card is a really nice Pokemon card. It's the type of card that has made Pokemon so popular amongst children and their parents for generations. Cute, cuddly creatures playing together in harmony. Just don't show mum or dad you EV training a Pokemon and massacring everything in your path. Beautiful artwork from a set that sometimes feels like it's common cards people are trying to sell you for about £10 each. But it's not quite valuable enough. The Prismatic Evolution card, from a set that was scalped to death. The Slime Ball saw that it was an Eevee set. They saw the Umbreon card and decided to buy everything they possibly could. I've still never seen a pack of Prismatic Evolution in the wild, and it's part of the reason why it put me off the set completely, and I don't think I'm the only one who felt that way. Now, we have seen prices tumbling on these main hits. Leafeon, Flareon and this Sylveon have all dropped down anywhere from 50 to 63% from their opening values. So hopefully some of these scalpers can't pay back on the credit cards they used to ruin our hobby. But I do know that this is part of the natural progression of Pokemon card prices. When a set is just released, the prices of these top chase cards are astronomical, as people want to get their hands on it as soon as possible, be it to sell on, to grade aim for a 10 while populations are low. But looking at PSA today, there are over 2,000 PSA 10s out there for this Sylveon. And with people putting their eggs in the Umbreon card, Sylveon has really fallen down the value charts. So the top 2 cards that I thought we'd be nestling into our binder are out of the running. And I was quite surprised to learn that the most expensive Sylveon card is this, the Unbroken Bonds Sylveon and Gardevoir card. In this instance, the Unbroken Bonds card is going to reign supreme for Sylveon, with a collector value of $413.57, making it the second most expensive card of this generation, although still lagging quite a distance behind Chespin. Now, like I said, I was quite surprised by this, mainly because the Sun and Moon era of the TCG is one of my biggest weaknesses knowledge-wise for Pokemon cards. I was out of the hobby at the time, so I'm always learning new things about these cards. The fact that it's over 10 years old obviously adds to its value as well, and the fact it contains Gardevoir, another huge fan favourite. Although some of those Gardevoir fans really need to get out more. You know the fans I'm talking about. Hawlucha has another staff promo card as its most expensive version with a value of $31.72. And I know I dragged Mega Greninja earlier, but Mega Hawlucha, this is a badass Pokemon design. Whoever made this Pokemon, throw them a pizza party. Better yet, give them a raise. We already know you made your money back on Legends EA development in like the first 20 minutes of its release, so give some back to your employees. Dendene can be added to the binder with his secret rare for Unbroken Bonds for $28.93, before this cheap Cardbrink Fates Collide card for £1.60. These break cards never really caught on, did they? But I personally think they are really cool. All opinions expressed in this video are the sole responsibility of Glary and Greg. We understand some of them are terrible, but if you have watched the series so far, you know he may have questionable taste in Pokemon and Pokemon cards. The Goomy line is another very cheap evolution line, with this Guardian Rising's Goomy, Flashfire Sliggoo, and Goodra from Lost Origin. Klefki's card is this League and Championship card given out to the first place player, which would make you think that this is a super rare expensive card, but it only comes in at £9.91. I assume because of the Pokemon on the card. Imagine fighting your way through a whole Pokemon TCG Championship, defeating everyone in your path, and congratulations, here is your Klefki card. Gee, thanks. Phantump is a reverse holo XY base set card, followed by a Sun and Moon promo card for Trevenant, joined on the card by another Halloween Pokemon in Dusknoir. If only I'd been able to get this video out for Halloween. 2 further Halloween Pokemon can be added to the binder with Pumpkaboo and Gourgeist, which just now while writing this script I realised that this is a gourd. Like, it had never occurred to me before that this is a bloody gourd, not just some sort of long pumpkin. Bergmite has this reverse holo Flashfire card, before a League and Championship Avalugg for £8.58. Noibat has this Journey Together illustration card for £3.78, followed by Noivern bringing a bit of heat with this Evolving Skies card for £54.75. It really reminds you of that scene in Arkham Asylum when you get jump scared by Man-Bat. Now for the 2 box art legendaries, Xerneas and Yveltal. Xerneas has this ultra rare full art card from the XY base set with a value on collector of $63.75. Yveltal has this alternate art promo card, and I know what you're thinking. Greg, Xerneas is right there. Why is this not Xerneas' most expensive card as well? Well, despite being worth £111.20 on collector, this can only be classified as Yveltal's most expensive card and not Xerneas' because it only says Yveltal. So, yeah, sorry. If it was a tag team card that had Yveltal and Xerneas, I could make it work, but I don't make the rules. Okay, I do make the rules, but they're my rules, so tough. Zygarde has another alternate art promo card for $56.31, roughly the price of a copy of Legends EA, and I can use this opportunity to delve into my comprehensive Legends EA review. It's the very definition of fine. Nothing fancy, nothing exciting for me, but also not on fire like Scarlet and Violet. Review over. Diancie gets this XY promo card for £25.39. Hooper, in its unbound form, has this Ancient Origins card for $27.73. And finally, we have Volcanion, with this Steam Siege secret card. Volcanion was actually the poster child of this Steam Siege set. Probably one of the reasons it isn't a very fondly remembered set in general. The main theme of the deck is this great battle between Volcanion and Gardevoir, who is laying siege to Volcanion's Gear Palace, and Volcanion's trying to defend it with its steam powers coming from its dual fire and water typing. Yeah, it's a little bit odd to say the least. But there we have it, all 72 Generation 6 Pokemon added to our world's most expensive national decks. How did the overall price fare against previous generations though? Let's find out. Our 3 most expensive Generation 6 cards were Chespin, Sylveon and Greninja. 2 Pokemon that I expect to be head and shoulders above the rest, and Chespin's there too. These 3 Pokemon cards alone make up a total of £2,909.13, which is a whopping 74.78% of the overall total of this generation. Yes, I did the math, and that total stands at just £3,890.06. I say just. Obviously, I am well aware this is a huge amount of money for a lot of people, especially to be spent on shiny cardboard. But it is a full £888.64 less than Generation 5, to take perhaps the unwanted crown as the cheapest generation so far. My favourite card from this generation has got to be Fletchinder, but maybe that's because I'm writing this script under a blanket and I'm loving the cosy by the fire vibes while the temperature continues to drop and drop further here in the UK. The biggest surprise to me has to be Sylveon not being from Prismatic Evolutions or Evolving Skies. I thought for sure that one of them was nailed on to take the Sylveon spot in our binder, but like I said, I was totally uneducated to the Unbroken Bonds card. But what was your favourite card from this generation? And which ones are you looking forward to seeing as we head to the Alola region for some Hawaiian-inspired Pokemon cards next? We still have 3 more generations of Pokemon to find each of their most valuable cards to add to our world's most expensive national decks. Yes, they've had less time to gain value, but I still think we're in for a surprise or two. So you'll have to wait and see for the next video of the world's most expensive national decks. Leave a comment about your favourite cards in this generation and let me know if there's anything I missed. I've been Galarian Greg, and I'll see you in the next one.